Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 21 of the ExtraCasual podcast with Ashton
and Gavin.
And first of all, this is going to be a recap of our summer. We're just going to talk about all of our summer stuff. We're not going to have any topics, I don't think, at all during this episode unless we run out of things to talk about.
Yep.
And another thing is we're also recording in person, trying out a new setup and everything.
Yeah.
I'm currently pacing back and forth while talking and gesturing in the air like a madman. That doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Right now I'm sitting down because my legs hurt, but and the reason why we're gonna get to later.
Oh, we're gonna get into it about right now.
Okay.
So I don't know what order we're gonna do this in, but one thing we're gonna talk about right away is this could be an Ashton's achievements too. This isn't really a game achievement, but it's more of a personal accomplishment achievement, I guess, for me and Gavin.
Mm-hmm.
The Ashton and Gavin achievement.
Let's go.
And that's being more active over the summer. We picked up a hobby, was it last summer?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Last summer, we picked up a hobby of skateboarding, and that has slowly turned into longboarding.
Mm-hmm.
And Gavin and I have completed multiple long trips recently on a trail near where we live or where we might not live. You'll never know.
Yeah.
Our one trip, I wrote down the miles we went. One trip, we went 17 miles.
Round trip.
Yep, round trip. So there and back, we went one town to the next town.
Mm-hmm.
And then today, we went... What was it? We started in one town, went through one town, and went to another town.
Yep, and that one took 19 miles, roughly.
Yep. And we try to do it like every weekend.
Yeah.
That's kind of our goal with it, and to see how we can improve. We should write that down, actually.
Good.
So we can like keep track of our improvements and stuff. But the trip that we were just on was so fun.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like we literally went more than we did last time, and it felt like we weren't even really exhausted until the end and all that. Like it just felt a lot better. I don't know if Gavin was talking about how it might be like we just are already getting better.
Yeah.
Like we just got used to doing it and stuff like that, but it's a good workout.
Yeah, very good.
Of course, it's not as good as running and stuff, but it's a good in-between of, like, biking and running, I told Gavin. Like, it's to the point where you're still exercising. Unlike biking, you are exercising while you're biking, but you're not really doing it a lot. Because, you're stopping, you're relaxing. Whereas longboarding, you need to constantly be, like, pushing the board, forward.
Yeah, at least semi-constantly.
Or in my case, where I found out that I can just sit on my board and push with my hands and almost beat Gavin in speed.
Listen, that's only because your board is a lot faster than mine.
Yeah, Gavin needs to get himself a new board, but he'll be getting it soon.
Hopefully soon.
Another thing, should we tell him what we might be planning on doing?
Sure, why not?
You want to tell him or you want me to tell him?
I think you should tell me because I think I forgot what it was.
Okay. We're planning on eventually doing a episode where we go longboarding and then we just sit on a bench for about an hour recording a podcast episode. So
oh yeah, that
right in nature. We have a couple. Trust us. We've been gone for this week of recording. We've come up with multiple really good ideas for what we could do.
Uh-huh.
Like, I'm excited to do all of them, but we can't all do them like right away.
We've even had the crazy idea of going from one end of the state to the other end.
Yeah, that would be more of like a personal documentary type thing, but
personal documentation.
That would be so fun if we could do that. We can definitely get into that plan later, like get it down on audio so we can look back on it.
Yeah.
But what else have we done over the summer?
Let's see. Well, I just kind of off the top of my head, played a good few games.
Yeah.
Played through the Devil May Cry trilogy, which I have talked about. Played through the Ace Attorney trilogy, Phoenix Wright, to be specific, which, also talked about that as the main point for an entire episode.
Mm-hmm.
played Bug Fables, which there will be a review for. Whether or not it's gonna be this episode or the next one, don't know. Um, I also went to, like, near the end of the summer, a little bit after my birthday. Went to like a fair of sorts. Not gonna exactly say where because it might give away what state we live in.
Yeah, my
Yeah, which a pretty big bombshell dropped on the trip, and apparently, I don't really know if I want to say this or not, but I might as well. Um, my dad's getting remarried, which, at least from what he told my mom, he said he was never going to get remarried. So I don't know.
yeah. That's all you should really say about it, though.
That's what I'm gonna say. I'm definitely gonna say a lot more based on certain things, like depending what happens, and depending how little I end up caring about, you know. But yeah, anyway, that's all I'm gonna say about it.
Let's just leave it at that for now.
Yeah, let's leave it at that. But my God, if that happens, we're gonna have like a guest, and that's gonna be like the main focus of an episode.
Yeah. Speaking of guests, we've come up with one unique idea for a guest.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I've ever stated this. I think I've only told Gavin, but we're trying to have one guest every 10 episodes. So we kind of like get to display our friends, get to like talk with our friends, but
get their opinions and stuff.
So far we've only had one guest, and that was episode 11.
Yeah. Well, if we want to do it every 10, then we kind of missed it. So
yeah, we had somebody planned, but it kind of fell through and wasn't up to our standards.
Yeah.
I was contemplating, actually. Did I ever tell you, Gavin? I was contemplating actually trying to edit it down and trying to make it work. Like what we're planning on doing with the guests that we're not going to mention is they didn't have a computer and everything set up, so what we were going to do is just do some questions and like talk about like stuff up in the moment, but that didn't work out.
Shoot the shit, so to speak.
It didn't work out as well as we thought it would, so we kind of just scrapped it. What have I done for games?
I don't know. You never really had time for it as much as I have, because you've been working, you've had other things, at least at the time.
I guess one thing I have started, and I hope that I'm gonna do like stick with it, because it'd be kind of cool, is I started a YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's true.
That's actually a first, because the episode that I mentioned it in isn't out, because that was the one with the guest. The YouTube channel was originally going to be like a games first impressions channel, but I kind of dropped the gaming act, and now I'm doing like review style content with just reviewing products that I find interesting. But that's my first video is actually doing decently good, but my video after that plateaued like the day it came out. So
that's not good.
Let's see. What else have I done? We can try to go back and forth on this. I'll think of one more, and then you could think of something while I'm talking about mine.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of one. It's just that my summer was kind of mundane and samey day to day.
Yeah.
Basically, my entire schedule was just wake up at like around 12 because I'd stay up pretty late the night before. It would go on a walk around like my neighborhood area, same route every day, and have some breakfast, and then just whatever the day goes.
Day brings you.
Yep, just happens, and it wasn't really usually much.
Yeah. Stuff that I've done
over the summer.
I'm trying to think. Like, it's good that I didn't have school and stuff. I got to hang out with friends and do stuff I wanted to do, work on stuff I wanted to work on.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, the big one, or you say big one, the Avenged Sevenfold concert.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, but we already went over it, so.
Yeah.
Not really much to talk about again.
Yeah.
Both of us had summer birthdays, so we all turned a year older.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I finally got my license, so that's something.
That is something.
Yeah.
Um, you could talk about you looking for a job if you want to.
Yeah. Well, looking is a bit more of a draconian, so to speak, term because,
It's more wanting.
yeah, more wanting. And the big thing was once I got my license, I was going to get a job, but I don't have a car. And in
You kind of
fact,
need a job to get a car.
well, more like I need a car to go get to my job
Yeah.
because I have one set up. My uncle's working on it, and he's a mechanic. But he has a tendency to take his time on stuff that isn't his actual job.
Just go over and do it for him. I could probably go over and help you with it.
Yeah, I'm not a mechanic.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Mechanic Podcast. Today we're going to be working on Gavin's engine block.
Well, it's nothing like that. It's just like the entire back was ripped out for whatever reason, and like apparently there's some problem with the hood.
Weird.
Yeah,
Is there any like major problems, or is it just like um all like cosmetic ish issues?
it's basically cosmetic, but it still doesn't really look good. So
You're not satisfied with it?
yeah. Well, if he wants to be in a good enough condition, so
It'll last a little bit.
yeah, at least look good on the inside and have whatever hood problem done on the outside.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm happy that I was able to pass my test this time because I went 3 hours away from my house, roughly.
That's
Yeah.
what I did too.
Yeah. The thing is, it's also really early in the morning, and
That's
I
also probably a luck boost.
and I slept for like 2 hours. So basically,
That's not a luck
well,
boost.
actually, no, I went to bed at roughly 1 because even though I took my sleeping supplements, they were just not hitting me quite that hard.
You're staying awake through it, and it just screwed you up even more.
Yeah, so to speak. Yeah.
Hmm.
Let's see. Yeah, I fell asleep at like 1, woke up at like 4:30, then went. Yeah. I think one of the big things that kind of screwed me up my last time was not knowing my parallel parking and 90-degree back in,
Oh my god.
and also there was also like heavy traffic last time.
They need to revise the parallel parking and all that.
Yeah,
Like, I swear to God, Gavin, I haven't used the parallel parking or the other one, like the 90-degree
back in.
back end. And I've been driving for like a year and I want to say like 3 months or something like that. Haven't used it once.
Yeah, well, as the story's the argument over, we're gonna use it eventually. So
Yep.
it's like the whole school thing of you never know when this stuff might come in handy.
Yep.
Yeah.
So dumb.
Uh,
They used to say that you would never have a calculator in your pocket, and here we
lo
are.
and behold.
We have a calculator. We can have calculators in our pockets.
I mean, a big point I've always kind of made is that beyond like elementary, maybe like the first half of middle school, if that's even really a place, most places outside of our community. Which I mean, it is, but it's kind of a 50-50 thing of sometimes it's there, sometimes it's a middle school is not. Yeah. I think like there are certain points where maybe there should be like more specialized classes, so to speak, like kind of like a mini college,
Yeah.
like classes specialized more towards like a business thing or classes
Teach you
specialized
how to
more
do your taxes.
yeah,
It should
exactly.
be an actual required course and not just a special, like, elective course that you can do, maybe.
Yeah. Funnily enough, that reminds me, during one of my behind the wheels, I was with a guy, and we were talking just about random stuff, and one of us mentioned taxes, and that came out in the conversation. He said that the reason why they don't teach taxes in school is because that's how you're going to get fucked by the government.
There you
You
go.
know, I suppose it's true, so to speak, that you will be fucked up by the government. You know, you getting your money stolen from you, even if you make less than like 30 grand a year or barely making ends meet.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one thing I wish a school had was a electrical engineering class because our school has like a few other like things like welding and auto or well, like auto engineering and stuff like that. But electricians thing, nah, not one bit.
Yeah, art school actually is pretty good with like their like specialty like electives. Like we have auto, we have welding, we have like creative design. We have such like unique
Hmm.
electives.
Yeah. Let's see. We also had a few business courses, and I took basically all of them.
You got to take most of our like classes though to get the credits you need because we have a variety of them, but we don't have like enough really. Like you have to do at least 80% of all the classes in our school
To pass.
to meet the requirements to graduate.
Yeah, and of course, the required classes like math and English and shit like that.
Yeah. Let's see. I hmm. Something I did work on, I guess. I can mention it. It would be something cool for me to look back on and remember that I did. I worked on making a sound booth. And not like a crazy expensive sound booth like I was originally planning on. It's literally just like a 3x3 like a grid of PVC, and then I have blankets and stuff that I put over it to like get rid of the echo and like make the vocals more dry cuz I was using the thing to like record my audio for certain things and stuff like that.
Yeah. I bet the only problem is that it's hot as hell.
Oh my god. The reason why I didn't want to record not in person right now is because I didn't want to sit in my room with two computers running on like super hot. Because whenever you have to record anything, like whether it be like a podcast or like a YouTube video, just anything that you want to have good audio in, you have to get rid of like all background noises. You have to turn off your fans, things that make you cool. You
Hmm.
have to make sure that people aren't going to like clap or like do anything like that,
Yeah.
and just pray that you can edit it out if it makes it in.
Yeah, definitely.
Like one thing that annoyed me when I was recording a video for something, and in the background we have a neighbor near us that like he's like a firearms guy. He
Hmm.
likes shooting. I don't know what's in the balloons, but you can put something in balloons that whenever you shoot the balloons they explode.
Hydrogen.
Probably something like that. I don't know. But he will shoot them and they literally like it was an audible boom on the microphone.
This does not sound
And then
good.
you just hear me go, wow, in the recording.
Why now? Why now of all times?
Yeah, and like people mowing their lawn can be an issue for like needing to record good audio too.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a lot more convenient for us to meet up. Then again, with those same reasons, it might be kind of interesting for our outside uh, episode because we're gonna be in decently close proximity to loud stuff, so to speak.
Yeah, I wish it was more. We could make it more woods, but then we're going to be like drenched in mosquitoes.
Yeah.
There is a couple areas where we could do it where it would be just forest and like nature, but I don't want people like walking down a trail or something and seeing two guys sitting on like a tree stump with a computer in between them and two microphones.
Putting a doomsday message.
Yeah. Um hmm. Let's see. Is there anything else that comes to mind that you did over the summer?
um, let's see. Played a little bit of D&D with some of my friends that play it with. It's pretty fun. I really wish we can play more often. Although one of them just quit their job.
Hmm.
Uh, so he said he's gonna have a lot of time on their hands. So we only have to account for one other person's schedule.
What letter does it start with?
That the only problem is they both start with C.
Okay, what's the second letter?
For the one that quit their job,
Yeah.
O.
Okay. I know what he's talking about. You'll never know.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Uh, yeah. Let's see.
I would join you in your D&D, but I don't have time. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm lying. I do have I could make time, but I'd rather prioritize certain things over other things, and
Yeah, that makes sense.
I wouldn't always be able to make it work as much as I wanted to, and
We barely make it work now.
yeah. And then the more people you add into it, the harder it's to get all the schedules right and have everyone there to record it.
Yeah.
We've been through that with other stuff before, so
Uh-huh. And it is madness, let me tell you.
yeah, we put out a time. We're like, okay, be here at this time. We plan this literally months ahead, and then plans get changed last second for some reason.
Yep. The one thing I've learned is that um it feels like I'm definitely one of the more reliable people in terms of showing up in my friend group solely because I don't have any work or I don't have any after school activities or anything.
Well, that's good that you're reliable.
Yeah, I guess. But
Do they like say that they can't make it, or do they just not show up and then say that they can't make it
well,
like later?
what happens with D&D is that we try to set a schedule and like I text him like someone says, you know, I could make it work or I could probably make it work. That's probably a better way to phrase it. And we meet up. It's me and the other person. We send him a text and like, yeah, I can't make it.
Wow.
We usually just do like a little one-on-one session in that case. It's still fun, but
I've had people do that to me, and it makes me so mad. I don't want to call anybody out, but by saying this, but I'm gonna say the situation that we were put in. Gavin and I were planning on going to watch a movie, Super Mario movie,
uh-huh.
and we set together like literally a month before. We're like, okay, we gotta go watch the movie together. We made plans with a couple people. One of them backed out because we didn't really talk to them that much. That one was kind of fair.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one, like, we're like, hey, we're gonna go watch the movie today. And he's like, yeah, okay. I think we even told him the day before. We're like, are you ready to go watch the movie tomorrow? And he's like, yeah, bet. And then the day comes like tomorrow, and we text him. We're like, okay, in about 3 hours, we're gonna go watch the movie. And then he says, oh yeah, I watched the movie yesterday.
Great.
It's like, you didn't even mention it or say anything, that you just did it without asking. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. What's some other things I've done over the summer? Well, also the day I went to the fair place, I saw my dad's new place, and it's basically his fiance's brother uh is like part of like some architecture company or whatever, and he makes like big money, so they have a real nice house. And every time like I just think of like, wow, everything in this situation just benefited my dad.
Yep.
My mom's basically been left in the dust.
She still has the car though.
That's true, but we're being forced to move into a townhome. It's still somewhere in town, but
Mm.
still not as good as our current house, obviously.
Yeah. If you stay in that house, we would have turned that recording room into a podcast room.
Yeah.
We'd get custom like signs and everything, and we'd get like all of it set up.
Yeah.
That would
I
have
mean,
been
it
fun.
was used as a recording studio, so
Yeah. If we are able to make this work, then I think if I ever get a house or I build a house, I'm gonna put a room in it for recording stuff like this.
that'd be sick.
Just put like a couch in the middle, have multiple like microphone options for everyone and like people that want to join and stuff like that. And then just have like a TV screen in the back displaying like information or like infographic stuff. And then just sit and talk for like about an hour.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I found a perfect transition into something we could talk about.
All right.
Dream house. What's your dream house, Gavin?
Okay, so I think you'd be like kind of like the standard version of the dream house. Big car or big house. Nice garage, pool in the back, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd like to have like a few secret rooms, so to speak, and one of them would be a room roughly as big as like a. Let's see, like a good like 15 by 20 room
Mm-hmm.
that they just be the D&D room.
Hmm.
Maybe if I meet some people that like D&D, we could find some place that could be the place that we play it.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it'd be behind a bookcase.
You could like enter the universe by entering like as soon as you go through this bookcase, you have to follow the D&D rules.
Yeah.
It's like no breaking RP until we all say the safe word, and then you can break RP.
We don't. I probably don't want to be that strict with it. And also, it also depends who'd be DMing that night.
Yeah.
If we're going through a campaign or just doing a lot of one shots.
Okay. So you mentioned what you want in the house, right?
Yeah.
What location would you want the house? Let's say just in the United States.
Yeah. In the United States,
If you're not for sure, you can just say north, south, east, or west.
I think Midwest would be fine. So kind of like just in the time zone we're already in.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a little bit down south, not quite Texas, but you know,
Just so you'd kind of want your house like semi in the middle of nowhere.
yeah, basically like maybe like higher end community.
Yeah.
So I don't have to deal with fucking gunshots in the middle of the night.
Them hooligans.
Like it's the hood.
Um. Is there anything else you'd want to have in it?
Let's see. Kind of trying to think, and like kind of like a game, like a not D&D game room would be nice. Like video games, a pool table, some darts.
It's like a man cave.
Yeah, basically, that'd be cool. Um, yeah. Aside from that, I don't really know what I'd want in a house. Aside from like the basics.
Hmm.
Right. I said mine. What about you? What do you want in a dream house?
Oh. I probably have to agree with you, like geographically. Like, I kind of like where we are. Just it kind of sucks that it'd have to be. I don't want to say that because I'm making where we are, but the current place that we're in now has bad summers and bad winters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the joke is like the weather is bipolar and so are the girls. That's the joke of where we live.
Damn straight.
And it's if I could like just avoid that, if I lived in my dream house and had the choice to never leave my dream house, then I would. I'd probably have a couple hidden rooms too, or like I saw this really cool thing. I would want to have a hidden room like I saw this one online where it's like a kitchen countertop, but then like the doors where like stuff would be like spoons and stuff like that. You can pull it out and there's literally like hidden stairs down to like a hidden bar or something like that.
That's cool.
Of course, I would have like a professional recording studio. Maybe I might even have like 2 recording studios. That sounds kind of like like not greedy because this is our dream house.
It's what
it's
we
what
want.
we'd want if we had all the money. But I'd kind of have like I'd want to have a center room, so like a center recording room, and then like around that room, so like imagine like a square in the middle, and then there's a square on each side of the center square. I'd want to have one that leads like to the hallway or whatever, like back to the normal house, and then to the left is like a setting for a recording room, to the front is like a setting for a recording room, and then to the right is a setting for a recording room.
Mm-hmm.
So then you could have like a chill like on the couch recording room. Then you could have like a professional like recording room for like music or something like that. And then you could have like an in between room or like a, I don't know, maybe you have like a smoking room and a not smoking room, just like have it all spaced out different like
Yeah.
rooms for different things.
Yeah.
Um I mean I'd want to have a pool.
Yeah. Of course. I
Um
mean, I'm not much of a swimmer, but even a pool would be nice just even to relax to,
well,
relax in.
maybe not a pool. I'd say like a hot tub at least.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Um Anything else I'd have in my room? I mean, I'd want to have spacious rooms, but wouldn't want to have like school gym sized rooms. That's just like,
Yeah.
what would I even put in those rooms?
Yeah, big enough where he can, feel like it feel spacious. It can feel spacious, but not big enough where there just be a ton of wasted space.
Yeah, like, hmm. I'd want to have like, my dream house would probably be 2 floors, maybe 3.
Hmm.
How many floors would yours be?
It's probably same bracket, 2 or 3.
Okay.
Like not including a basement, I suppose.
Alright. So I'd have like, the way I'd have it is I'd have the bottom floor be like living quarters, I guess. So like all the main like bedrooms and stuff would be down there. Middle floor would be like arcade. Arcade, that sounds fun. Having a whole arcade in your house. That's
Yeah, that'd be
I
cool.
want that.
It might be pretty expensive. Then again, this is our dream houses again, so money isn't just a mere object.
Yeah. And that would just be like every game console I want, like everything's there. You can have like maybe like a theater in part of it. That would be cool. Like a private theater. And then like the top floor would be like I said, like the recording area. Maybe I can make like that the content creation area for
I just
stuff.
thought something I would want in my house:
Hmm.
shooting range.
Ooh. You could do it.
Yeah,
You probably have to get a couple licenses and stuff like that, but
yeah, probably. First off, a gun license to own some of those that stuff.
yeah. Um I'd want to have like a fully automated. No, not fully automated because that would be like dystopic. But like just have everything set up so I could be like, "Hey Alexa, turn like these lights off," or like I can be able to communicate people with different floors without having to go talk to them. That also sounds kind of dystopic lazy, but
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
be able to know like maybe where people are, like, wait, but I don't want cameras. I don't want cameras all over my house then.
Mm.
But just be able to like easily locate people inside the house if it was decently big.
Yeah.
But I think I talked about everything about my dream house.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think me too. I can't really think of much. It reminds me of when I was designing my current D&D campaign. It takes place in a mansion. I was really stretching to come up with some room.
Have some like Mario paintings. You jump through them, it leads you to a whole new dimension.
That'd be cool.
I want a particle accelerator in my house,
It sounds basically impossible.
but I have unlimited money.
That's true.
I'll just turn my house into a laboratory.
You could.
That's another thing.
Big ass astrolab.
I just want a house that has everything, and whenever I think of something, it can just generate that idea for me. There. I found the cheat to this question.
Ha ha.
I'm not going to use that though, but
Also sounds, literally impossible because the whole, you can't create matter, only transfer.
I can create money.
That's true.
I want my house to have a money printer.
That's illegal.
That's a joke. That's a joke.
Yes, IRS.
Fake
This is a
money
joke.
printer. I don't want. This is our dream house. Hypothetical again. FPI.
Hypothetically.
What else could we talk about?
Well, I guess we could start talking about school now.
Oh yeah, we could talk about school.
I guess you can start because you probably won't have as much to talk about as I will.
Yeah, I have more of the like college school life now, I guess. I still go to high school. Um, I think we can't really hide it anymore. I mean, you probably know what grade we're in, but
Yeah, probably figured.
yeah, we're in our senior year of high school.
Almost out.
So
Except he's going straight back in.
yeah, basically, but we're doing our final things before adult life starts.
Yep. And
So
that's gonna hit me like a truck. That's all I can say.
yeah, you gotta accept reality now. You can't hide from it in school.
Yeah. Oh well. At least I don't have to deal with like a lot of bullshit.
Part of me is gonna miss the school though.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, I have friends that are like, oh my god, I'm so happy I don't have to have school this certain time of day. Like, I can leave school early now. It's like, I seriously, Gavin can contest to this. I get up like up to 4 to 5 hours before school even starts to go to school just to sit there and like work on homework or do like personal stuff or go like hang out with Gavin in his classes.
Yep. Because I'm alone in basically most of them.
Because now I basically have the freedom to go hang out with people and like socialize, whereas the other years or like grades, you're stuck in a class doing
Yeah.
something you might not like and all that. But now I have all my general topics and stuff out of the way. Like, I don't have math anymore. I don't have reading. I don't have science anymore. I finished all that. Like, I got all the credits for that.
Well, you still have college English, don't you?
Yeah, I forgot about that. But honestly, it's like, it's not as, like, I gotta rephrase that. Like, college, honestly, this is community college here because I'm doing a program where I don't have to pay for the college. I can just attend it if I'm still in high school, but it's not as bad as what people are talking about. I don't know if it's just because I'm like a college suitable person because some people can't stand college, or like it's just I have a special ability or something like that, but
You're a chosen one.
yeah, it's it's not that hard. It's just you gotta stick to it and do it. Like, you have papers and stuff, of course, but it's it's not like overbearingly hard, like stressing to finish the paper. You have a syllabus, you know what you have coming up, you are able to study. Some of my tests are even like open book, and the professor allows it. She's like, yeah, you can have open book during this, and it's just better. My high school is literally, I only have one high school class, and that's just the one class that is required of me this year for me to graduate.
Yeah.
Other than that, I just been sitting around, going to college, working on college stuff, going to high school, working on college stuff,
Hmm.
and then
Yeah.
just editing podcast stuff and YouTube videos and all that in my spare time.
Yeah.
Now it's your turn, Gavin.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the other end of the spectrum, actually, like literally all my classes are in the high school because I didn't take any college stuff. Well, except for one technically, but that's gonna be coming up. The reason why I didn't really try to pursue this college stuff is because college is not where I want to go in like the coming years. I don't want to have to work off immense amounts of debt for the rest of my days. I don't want to have to fucking do good enough, or else I'm gonna get my ass kicked out.
You're gonna lose all the money that you spent on it.
And out of nowhere, fucking just got nothing to my name.
Yeah, I guess there's like what are those things like grants and stuff like that? You can do papers, or like if you're a boy that has black hair, you get put into this special group where we're giving boys with black hair extra money to go to college or something like
Yeah,
that.
those weird ass scholarships.
Oh yeah, scholarships. That's the word. Yeah,
Well, grant is technically the correct word because grants money.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see. I have a interesting assortment of classes. Most of them are like art and physical education based.
Those are
I
good.
have a digital arts class. That's what it's called, where it's like involves photos and Photoshop and whatnot. So, if I get good with it, I might be able to start making thumbnails soon.
There you go.
Well, soon as in like next 6 months. Who knows?
Yeah.
Um. I have uh, a design that involves like making bouquets and stuff. I thought it was a lot different when I signed up for it, or it's like you would take flowers and like have to paint them or something.
Hmm. So you don't like it as much as you thought you would?
No, like I'm still gonna give it a shot because it seems at least a little interesting of what I can do in class, but
It's just
yeah,
different.
yeah. English, it doesn't seem too bad right now, but it might ramp up real quick. Right now we're just talking about like early American settlers, the Puritan people,
Hmm.
going over all the stuff they did, how they acted and just basic stuff like that. Let's see. I also have a sports class. Right now we're playing tennis.
There you go.
Not very good. We have there's a class that it's a college credit, but don't really care about that. We basically get to mess around with like 3D printers and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't understand how that's a college class though. Like,
It's because it has like a college connection to it. I don't know.
hmm. Our we have an auto class too. Actually, speaking of like unique classes, I don't know if I mentioned that or not.
Yeah, I think I mentioned Dotto earlier.
But that is also a college class for some reason.
Yeah,
Not like I don't think welding is, but auto is. That's weird.
yeah. Especially because welding, while in like a few areas it's a bit more basic than auto, I'd imagine. It's still a fully functional career, a
Yeah,
starter, so to speak.
yeah.
Let's see, one that's just like get to draw. And unfortunately, there's two idiots that got moved into the class. My God, they are stupid.
Those are the ones that I was sitting with you next to.
Yes,
The ones on the left of us.
yes,
Oh, the one next to us though was actually like artistically good.
it gifted.
He drew like a pretty decent looking like realistic hand.
Hmm.
He was supposed to draw something messy, but he just drew a hand. So I don't know if he was gonna do like what was that game called where you stab a knife in between your fingers?
Oh, I don't remember.
I I don't remember either,
That
but
is a dumbass game.
yeah. But he didn't really follow the prompt of what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, yeah. Drawing right now, we're just kind of going through like the basic stuff, shading and adding value to drawings. I'm not very good, but I'll still try to adhere by it.
Yeah. Those classes are kind of free though, so
Yeah,
there's not there's not really homework or anything.
yeah, you just gotta work.
Yeah.
And then my last class is a a yoga and wellness class where basically you
Hmm.
get to learn how to not die as fast by managing stress, getting a better diet, uh, helping relax more, which I guess kind of goes with reducing stress. Um, the benefits of having like a good night's sleep.
Hmm.
It's just pretty basic, but I'm not against having it.
So originally I haven't had this class, but it's not just yoga, it's like nutrition and stuff too.
Uh, Not really nutrition, but I guess like that kind of plays a small part in it. It's like the wellness of the being, so to speak.
Hmm.
You know, lowering blood pressure and stuff like that.
Hmm. That's interesting. I expected it just to be like stretch for an hour and then call it good.
That'd be fun.
You'd be like mega flexible if it was just that.
So I could wrap myself into a pretzel.
But then they're probably like, you shouldn't do yoga too much or else it's bad for you. But
Actually,
if you
no.
don't do it, then it's bad for you.
I think like like what the teacher said, like even like 30 minutes a day could like really give like some long-term benefits.
Hmm.
Like there's like a meditation thing that we did where if you did it like properly, it can amount to the equivalent of 1 hour of sleep.
Do you just like knock yourself out?
No, it's like tensing up all your muscles and then like letting them like relax.
Hmm.
Apparently that helps reduce like tension and stress and stuff like that. I don't know.
Interesting. That's like the cold shower thing.
Yeah, the cold shower thing.
Like taking a cold shower actually is beneficial for you.
Yeah.
How like athletes and stuff will take cold showers because it makes you more awake, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by, first of all, I should probably mention what I mean by cold showers isn't like you crank it all the way up to super hot and then you turn it back down to like kind of hot. It's like, no, it's like almost off cold showers, but
Yeah.
like ice in the water cold showers.
It's good for the immune system, apparently.
It's good for the immune system. It helps you sleep more. It like the coldness or something increases your dopamine or something like that. There's lots of benefits of it.
Yeah.
And healthy or not healthy, hot showers I'm pretty sure are not healthy for you.
What is that?
Just like skin damage and like hot tubs are also kind of bad for you too because like they increase your heart rate and all that.
Yeah.
Whereas like cold water, slows your heart rate down. Doesn't it make your heart pump faster though when it's slower? Or is it just like it chills it down?
Uh, Usually if you're, I mean, imagine if your heart rate is down, it means your heart's still, pumping at a usual rate, so to speak, but it's just, not as fast.
Hmm.
Like the idea of like, working out is that your heart's gonna be real beaten in the moment, but it's gonna make your heart work a little bit more efficiently while during the resting periods.
As long as you have water, not have a lot of water, good in between, or else you'll die of water intoxication.
Yeah, or pass out from dehydration.
Yeah. Do you have some Gatorade or something in between it?
Yeah.
Um, I should probably mention my other college class
Yeah.
because I have my three classes this part of school is um geography, which is my high school class, and then I have sociology, introduction to sociology. Which, Gavin, do you know anything about sociology?
It's about cycles, right?
No, that's psychology. There's a lot of them that sound the same.
Oh yeah, you mentioned it. It's like the study of like
Human behavior.
yes, human
But
behavior.
my last one is introduction to English, something about paper writing and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Should I get into a little bit of what my sociology class is?
If you feel like it, sure.
Okay, this is gonna be a little handful for people that don't know anything about sociology, and it's gonna make me sound semi-smart, I guess.
Don't feel bad, everyone else. I'm in the same boat.
Um, Kevin, if you have any questions, ask.
All right.
So sociology is like the thing that makes people think how they are, like how they're thinking, which sounds kind of dumb, but it's like if you grow up in a house with rich parents, your outcome on how you think is going to be different from somebody that didn't grow up in a house with rich parents. Like it takes an effect of why people might think certain ways. Like if you grow up in a religion, if you grow up a different gender, I was about to say age.
Who knew?
If you grew up and you were 25 right away when you were born, um it's just like it takes in the overall account of like just because different lives or like different groups of people, different places around the world will have different outlooks on things.
Yeah, different experiences.
Like for example, this is an example that I learned. Do you know what sky burials are?
What?
I don't know. I don't want to get this wrong. There's a certain tribe where they believe that if you take from nature at the end of your life, you have to give back to nature. So what they do is once the person passes away, they will leave their body out for the vultures and like other animals to
Consume off
to,
of.
to to salvage their body, like they were salvaging from the planet, to survive and thrive off of.
Hmm.
Another one that I learned of, this is a really interesting one. It's a nomadic tribe. Once again, I don't remember the name of the tribe, so I'm just not going to say it because I don't want to butcher it or say it wrong. But the way that they get rid of their elders is kind of morbid, but this takes into account sociology where you have to consider why they might do this, here it's considered murder what they're doing to their elders, but for them it's part of their life. Like what they do is once the elder becomes too old to the point where they can't move, once again, this is a nomadic tribe. They're constantly moving. The elder can't keep up. It's going to slow them down, which is going to hinder their nomadacy.
And hinder their progress.
That's a word that I've never used before.
I don't even think that is a word.
Nomadacy? That sounds like a cool word, though. Essentially, they dig a hole, okay?
Mm-hmm.
They dig a hole up to the elder's neck. They put the elder in the hole. They throw the dirt and bury the elder just so their head is poking out of the hole. And then they just leave them.
God damn.
They leave the elder for multiple days before they're going to go out on like another conquest or like nomadically move. And they come back to see if the elder's dead like multiple days later. And then that's it. That's just how they like. The elder knows it's eventually going to come. It happens to every single person that's an elder in that community or like tribe. Just something that happens. But
to be real, that's kind of fucking metal.
Yeah, but
just basically being buried alive.
It's once again, if you were in the US or anywhere that's more civilized, less tribal or nomadic, that would be considered murder.
Mm-hmm.
But for them, it's just a way of life. It's how they grew up. It's how they're operating. It's where they live.
Yeah.
That's kind of the basic of sociology.
Yep. How human experience shapes thoughts.
Yeah, it talks a lot about a lot of theories that I've never heard of. Obviously there's like feminist theory. There's Actually, I don't really know. I've only heard feminist theory before this, but there's like conflict theory, institutionalism theory, there's interactionalism, there's symbolism theory, and like each one basically looks at sociology but in a different light. So like feminism theory, I know this might surprise some people, but feminist theory it doesn't just take into account the rights and the life of females, it also takes into account everyone in the system. So feminist theory is understanding that there are some people that are in different groups of people, but they just want to make everything even, not make one person better because of revenge or something like that, like how people may believe them, like feminist theory is.
Yeah.
But then there's like functionalism. Functionalism is like more like, this one's kind of more, I think this was coined by like a Russian what's the word when you're over like heavy in one political side?
Like
extremist. I think extremist was the word that they used for it, but
was it Karl Marx?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Karl Marx.
Okay, is either Karl Marx or Vladimir Lenin.
Don't quote me on this one, guys, but functionalism theory is coined, I think, by Karl Marx. I'm not 100% sure. Basically, it's the idea that certain groups have to be oppressed or minoritized to have a functioning system, which for some people might not agree with that, but once again, you got to take in mind like that's their idea. It's how sociology is. Sociology is everything and nothing at the same time. Or not even nothing, it's everything. Yeah. Sociology is past, present, and future.
It is the eternal.
But then like symbolism theory is like certain cultures have symbols which relate to like the tribe or like the state even. Like your state flag is like a symbolism theory. Your whatever state you're in, your team, like your football team is whatever state you're in too, like all that.
Yeah. Basically symbols that show off the uniqueness of different people in different places.
Yeah. Sorry for the lore dump, guys. Welcome to the college class today. I'm your professor. I'm going to be teaching you about sociology. But I thought it was going to be... I knew what I was getting into when I signed up for it, but it's still interesting. Like,
you thought it was going to be boring as hell?
I mean, there's like papers and stuff that are kind of annoying, but...
Yeah, well, it's school. What you going to do?
Yeah. It was honestly pretty interesting. Like it threw me off guard more than I expected.
Yeah,
You know that people will think differently from each other, but I guess I never took in the full extent and account of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Reasons of how, when, why.
Who, what, gender, race,
Hmm.
religion,
Economic background.
literally everything, like anything physically about a person, like if they're missing their thumb, their outlook on life could be completely different.
Yeah, maybe.
Stuff
Then
like
again, I
that.
don't think you're gonna change that much if you lose a thumb.
But you never know. That's how sociology is. Like for sociology, like there's like oh god, this is into another information lore dump. I'll try to TLDR it, but basically it's like the difference between sociology and just like general assumption, individualist theory compared to analytical theory. Individualist theory is like you see like a homeless person and you're like, wow, that person, depending on like your thoughts about them, you'll be like, wow, that person sucks at managing their money, or like that person sucks at like has addiction problems. But like a sociology, like a analyst theory of it would be like, why is that person there? Like, is there something in their life that made them in that situation? Like, is it a family problem? Is it like how they grew up problem? Like, you got to think more than just your individualist theory with your biases. Like, the sociological theory should be unbiased,
Mm-hmm.
which from what I've been doing research on and reading, is mass media and news is very biased, and they have their own agendas and other things behind what they're talking or promoting about.
Yeah, well, it's right versus left, so fucking figures.
Yeah, and I've already complained about this before, but it goes back to that thing I saw on the news the one time. It was like children stuck on their iPads during lunch, like when they're not supposed to be on their iPads, sign this petition to change how social media is. And it's like, damn well that in that like petition, like the news article media that was trying to promote it, like has hidden material in it, like to promote them or to push an agenda for them.
Yeah.
It's just it news media is not very trustful unless you
Yeah.
have multiple sources and you look at it in an unbiased way, which everyone
Yeah.
should do.
Yeah. Well, people will always look at it and at however it can benefit them the most.
Yeah, or they'll just hide all their critics and not accept that other people have other opinions.
Yep, we call those echo chambers in the business.
Yep.
So happens America is basically one giant echo chamber.
They they have to see their side always. They can't have multiple viewpoints.
Yep, it's either right or left.
I heard an amazing argument. It's like if you do change your mind about, like, for example, like political ideas, if you did change your mind about your political ideas, then that means that you were stupid, but you don't want to be stupid, because only wrong people are stupid or something like that. Like, even if you do change your mind on like a political subject or something like that, then at one point that means that you were stupid, that you thought something was the way it was. It's like people don't want to admit that, or like admit that they're wrong. They just want to always be right and sit in their ideas.
Yeah. I actually remembered something a while back that I heard,
Hmm.
and well, I remember actually kind of thinking about it. Is that how like a lot of things in the modern days getting kind of revised for like modern audiences,
Oh my
depending on
god.
like how like raunchy or like offensive the material is.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think I may have come up with a name for it. I'm gonna call it revision theory. And the theory is if something can be revised, it will. And right now, like a while back, I heard like a lot of Ronald Dahl's
Oh my
work,
god. I was just gonna mention that
yeah, was being revised for a modern audience. Uh,
because, like, oh my god, they were doing the dumbest revisions too. I'm getting up right now. I'm getting heated about this. I stood up again. I'm pacing. What they did is they revised his work, but they didn't just revise his work. They put in things that weren't even in his work. So like they would call like certain groups of people. So like let's say there was an accountant that they were talking about a desk. They'd be like, so the original text would be like, so and so greeted so and so at the desk. You know, maybe that wasn't good enough for them, so they revised it. They revised the person's work, and now it says, so and so greeted the most beautiful, gorgeous, independent person at the desk who could be anything she wanted to be. And then, like, they did stuff like that to the Roald Dahl's material.
Yeah. And, like, them doing that itself is bad because it's not what the original author would have wanted, but it's also dangerous because it kind of, like, eliminates part of the history. And, you know, people look back at the Nazis, like, that's what they were doing. They were getting rid of Jewish history, and we're doing it now, and as all of a sudden it's okay just because it's just a few words.
Yeah. You have to just accept the past. You can't just rewrite the past and pretend it never happened. You have to see the past and learn from the past.
Yeah. That's why they teach history in school. It's probably one of the few actual things that matter.
Or at least are like super duper important to learn compared to other things.
Because as the quote says, those who fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it.
Yep.
Which, you know, with how things are going in the world right now, really makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just kind of waiting to see that, you know, how my revision theory can work. Like, you know, if I can change 50 Shades of Grey. Yeah, the most raunchy book in like human history, probably. Like
it's probably not the worst, but it's up there.
It's pretty bad. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna say that the only things probably immune for are like official like historical documents like the U.S. Constitution or like the Bible. That's actually no, they had the New Testament. Who knows?
That's been revisioned and stuff like that, translated.
Yeah. Well, translation is different from revision.
Well, at the same time, translation can be dependent on the author too, because sometimes translations have like meanings that aren't specific to be translated.
I know, but it's like, depending on like the context, like that's fine. Like if there's like a word that you know exists in a country that doesn't really exist for, or like that exists for a language that doesn't really exist for another language, you can fill stuff in.
So you mean like with translation, it's less predatory on the original text?
Yeah, it's less predatory because it's more of a need because you know like I said, there are those words that can't really exist like from here to there. A perfect example, in Pokemon, there's a move known here as Night Slash, but in Japan it's known as fuck. In Japan it's the word for basically when, like back when the samurai was still a thing, they would test their blades on civilians to see how sharp they were.
Oh god. Jesus. What was that called?
I don't know.
Civilian execution? Were they just straight and blunt with it?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I could look it up, but not really important. But like, I mean, like I said, anyway, the point is that there are those words that you know can't really exist here because they would be like a good few words long here. Like, well, probably more than just a few.
So you're saying like the term that the samurais were doing was like a one-word saying, but like in English translation, it would just be like samurai use sword to test against civilians to see how sharp they are.
Yeah, basically.
There's not a special word for it.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of an example like that for here. I know in manga there's a Naruto saying that doesn't exist in the English language. Like he says like he basically says something, and then for the like English dub of the show, like the anime in the books, he just says Naruto. No, he says you better believe it instead of the original translation, which just meant like Naruto number one or something like that.
Hmm.
But it wasn't a saying here, so
Yeah.
he just changed it to "you better believe it."
Yeah. Like, that kind of just reinforces the point, or like stuff like translational revision is fine because, there's oftentimes isn't like proper words to like fill in, but revision theory, like, taking like passages of like a book and just completely changing them for no other reason than it might offend other people if we don't.
Yeah, like the Roald Dahl stuff, they removed like all words like fat related.
Yeah,
Like they changed it to like moderately fit and stuff like that. Like
yeah.
it
Like
didn't they call it like sensitive
sensitivity readers.
Oh my god, that word is still dumb. Sensitivity readers. Well, you're not going to be able to sensitively edit this, guys.
Yep.
Unless you pull up a transcript in the future and rewrite the episode.
For whatever reason. Then again, this is also an audio based thing, so they'd literally have to change the words we're speaking somehow.
AI.
That's true.
We gave them enough audio samples, they could definitely sample our voice into something.
We should create a copyright right now, just so
Just in case in the future.
Yeah, if it isn't parody
If it isn't parody, you cannot use my voice
or my voice
for
for making
AI voice resurrection. We probably should have done this a while ago when we were talking about it.
Yeah.
You cannot use my voice for AI resurrection unless I give permission to do so, or by my estate.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're done.
I'd say so too.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. I hope you like this kind of not usual sort of style episode that we did.
More personal.
Yeah, more personal.
I think it was kind of more fun recording like this, but we can't always do it because we have topics we gotta talk about.
Yeah. Gotta talk about, stuff we're interested to. It just happens, finding those articles that, we like is, kind of makes things a little bit more streamlined.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I hope you liked the episode. We're gonna do our best to keep up this weekly to bi-weekly episode structure.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, rate 5 stars if you like it.
Yep.
And this has been Gavin.
And Ashton.
We'll see you all later.
Yep.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Bye bye.